Hello, friends, and welcome to the real X Day 1998, the final reckoning! And we know it's the last X Day because the conspiracy has shown their hand. They're always lying to us, but now they're not even trying to hide their deception. It's obvious for all to see. We've always had a crisis, some sort of emergency to justify them seizing our liberties and enforcing their anti-democratic top-down dictatorships. For 2 decades, it was the Islamic terrorists. But now that bin Laden and ISIS are gone, we've swapped that out with a new threat of domestic terrorists. The angry white male. Now I ask you, do I look angry to you? Do I sound angry to you? And what in Bob's name could I possibly be angry about? Yes, such a threat is always out there, literally hundreds, and yet even while this threat is precipitated throughout the world, hundreds of thousands of brown people are fleeing across our border. It'll be millions in just a few months. Too bad they forgot to tell them they're heading in the wrong direction. But in case that threat isn't scary enough, the conspiracy has another, even more frightening threat. Mutating virus strains. COVID was great while it lasted, but now the guild is off the flower. People are starting to come out again and resist their mandatory shutdowns and mask mandates and digital passports, so along comes COVID 2.0, the never-ending story. It changes, don't you see? So you're never safe, whether you're vaccinated or not. And in the unlikely event that the other two threats are not scary enough to beat you down into submission, we have the ultimate endgame. Climate change. The world is going to die by 2032 unless you surrender all your power to the conspiracy and do everything they want. And if you express any doubts, you're unscientific or Luddite, because the debate is over. And how dare you even question it? You see, it's not enough to have one doomsday scenario. No. We need all three simultaneously, a trifecta of terror. They want you to feel helpless, and that there's nothing you can do to avoid your doomsday damnation. We're all going to be blown up by white supremacists while dying of a deadly virus variant, just as the world burns up from rising temperatures and then drowns in rising sea levels. If one doesn't get you, the other ones will. Conspicuously absent, however, from this list of life-threatening doomsday scenarios is the one threat that really is real. And that will be here tomorrow, July 5th. I'm talking about an all-out invasion by Exodus exterminators! They're on their way here, now! Do I hear praise Bob? Yes, this planet is doomed, and we can't change that. We don't want to change that. For the wages of SubGenius sin and Dobbsian defiance are death. But just because Earth is doomed doesn't mean we are. No. The X's are coming and the Pinks are bumming. But as I look out amongst our SubGenius audience here today, the only bumming I see is of cigarettes, and perhaps even a few other inhalable substances. No. We are not bumming because we're looking forward to the end times. The planet may be condemned, the conspiracy may be condemned, the Pinks and Normals may be condemned, but we aren't. We've made our choice, and once the shooting starts, we aren't going to run away from the fighting, we're going to run to it! Now, we're going to be joining the aliens not only on their mopping up operations, but also when it's all over and going with them to Planet 10, Exodus promised world. A new promised planet with no Pinks and normalcy. It all sounds rather unbelievable, doesn't it? But then again, what in the last few years was believable? I mean, really. If you have a Dobbsian doubt about whether Bob will fulfill his promised prophecy, Just look how the conspiracy itself is starting to prepare the public for the mere possibility of aliens. They are showing aerial footage of military aircraft shooting UFOs. On TV, they're showing this footage. The very last order by the previous president was to release all information regarding UFOs within 180 days. That was signed at the end of December, and by my math, let's see, that's 6 months, it comes out. Well, what do you know? It comes out right about July 5th. Here we are. Now, why would they do that? Maybe when people go bursting in and they say, oh, run to the hills. They're here. They're killing us, the UFOs. All the conspiracy ties would roll their eyes and go, oh, please. They've been planning that now for months. They're just releasing the footage. Once again, the truth is the precise opposite of what our leaders and the media are telling us. There is a reason for us to be excited, and his name is J.R. Bob Dobbs. Do I hear praise Bob? Praise Bob! His pipe has been hiding in plain sight for all these years, right beneath the conspiracy's nose, but right beneath his nose. We didn't expect them to ever admit it. To paraphrase the 007 movie Goldfinger, no, Mr. Bondage, we expect you to die. And die they will. Die they must. For if this planet is to be purged of its conspiracy, contamination, and torments, it must be completely cleansed. And that we cannot allow this sickness to be spread throughout the solar system, nay, through the universe, through all sorts of other hitchhiking spacecraft. The only race that can be trusted to be, well, how should you say, allowed to continue to exist would be the SubGeniuses, for they have a lifelong history of fighting the conspiracy. They won't carry that terrible virus with them to Planet X. So have confidence, dear friends, that the conspiracy will go all out like this, that they wouldn't reveal their hand unless they knew the gig was up. This is going to be the final X day. All the real SubGeniuses can feel it in their bones. Do I hear an amen? Amen! Amen! That feeling is a good feeling, friends. The opposite of what the pinks and normals are going to be feeling in their bones as they're fed through the conspiracy pink people shredders. But hey, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs, right? Or breaking a few heads come X Day, as we assist with the mop-up operations and enjoy the biggest fireworks of all time. So if you ever had any wonders, just ask yourself this. If it were a real X Day, would it be crowded? No! It would only have a select few. We are that precious few! After all, weight is very expensive on a flying saucer going in all sorts of directions in outer space. So you expect it to be small and potent. And that's what we shall be tomorrow. So prepare for the real Independence Day, July 5th, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. as we finally leave this cursed conspiracy world. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Papa, Joe Mama. Another round of applause.